Let's get it, Team Perfect Cuts. We at it again, y'all. Get yourself a biggin' in the boat, boy. Let's go fishing. Hey, y'all, check this out. The only way to test your skills is when conditions are at their worst. So when the weather's bad and conditions are bad, get out on the water, boy. Conditions are at its worst, that's when we go fishing. That's when the real fishing step out. Yes, sir. Team Perfect Cuts at it again, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. About to start this day off, man. Here we go.
Yes, sir. We out here, man.
Westpointlake again, y'all.
Nasty.
Yes, sir. Things that we have on the front deck of the boat today, y'all. First of all, y'all know I like to throw this Bill Lewis rattle trap, the original rattle trap. I'm throwing it on a 7-foot rod. I think I showed you guys a little while ago about my my special wacky rig there. We'll go over how I rig this worm a little later. We're going to use this in some of the rip rock banks today. We'll be throwing a jerk bait shad pattern with a purple backing on it on a 7-foot rod, Auber Garcia. Also, the water's a little muddy today. I got my shaky head that I'll be throwing. And also, I'm throwing a finesse jig today in my favorite color with a little curl tail grub on it. And then we got our chatterbait. Our chatterbait, we'll be throwing it on the rock banks today and some of the rock bluffs today. And you know, if all else fails, y'all, if all else fails, I got that Ned rig on deck. All right, y'all, don't know if you can see it or not, but we started off back at the back cove of this rip rock bridge here. And so where we're thinking that the fish are holding that, if you kind of look along the rock line there, we got here is the mouth of the creek, which comes up under the bridge. As you can see, current is steadily flowing through under the bridge. So what we're going to work on, we're going to slow down at this point out here. Largemouth tend to hold on the rocks and they wait for the current to move the bait fish through, and they go out and they ambush the bait and bring it back in. So we're going to slow down when we get to this point here, throw some key baits in this area to see if we can lock in a bite. Also, you guys, the wind percentage today is up a little bit, so this is a perfect day for spinnerbait. Anytime you see the white caps out on the water and you notice the white caps are coming around this bend, a spinnerbait would be excellent in these conditions, man. Just kind of work it along, right along the banks here, and see if we can produce another bite. Also, you guys, check this out. Sometime when you got conditions where the wind is very high and you got the white caps on the water, and you can't get your boat to stay in places like this, sometimes what you got to do, as the wind comes down and the current takes the bait fish back into the calmer water, as you can see here, you got to sometimes go back into those calmer waters and fish those areas after it's settled down. Sometimes some of the largemouth, they go back into that calmer water and wait for the bait fish to be pushed back in there. Because what you got to realize, largemouth don't like to work that hard when it's cold outside. So sometimes they'll back into these coves and calmer water and wait for the bait fish to be pushed back into these areas. So what we're going to do, man, we're going to move out of this current. We're going to move back into some calmer water where the wind kind of pushes the bait fish back into those areas, the backs of the pockets and the shallow water, and see if we can produce a bite. Also, guys, another key tip of fall bass fishing is to find some areas that you can fish in when the springtime comes. If you can recall, the rock banks, those clay banks there, the water level is usually in that area. So if you look at the top of that tree that's down in the water there, those are some good areas to mark on your graph so that in the springtime and in the pre-spawn and post-spawn times, you can always come back to these key areas and activate some bites, man. So take notes. In the fall, if you don't have a bite, you got to keep moving.
y'all seen that? Did you guys just see that? I lost a good one, y'all.
All right, y'all, check this out. We just trying to put a pattern together today. What we've learned this morning since we've been out here, that the fish are not currently on the rip rock banks. They're on structure. So anywhere we can find structure similar to this one, any trees or laydowns in the water, the largemouth will sit, I mean, they're almost in about 1 inch of water right on those tree lines there. So we're going to try to find some more laydown. But the problem is that in the fall here at West Point, they let the water level down so low that it's hard to get to those areas. So it's only a few spots that we can fish to find those areas. But one of the things about fall fishing, a lot of guys kind of put their rods up and they go in and fall, but that's not the case. It's going to be very difficult in the spring and the pre-spawn and spawn time to find fish and to win tournaments and things of that sort if you don't stay on the water in the winter time and in the fall time. The advantage of being on the water in the fall time, you get the opportunity to see all of the lower areas, the laydowns that are on the bank, so you can mark them in your GPS or on your graph so that you can come back to those key areas in the fall in the pre-spawn and the post-spawn times when fishing gets real tough. You can rely on these areas to catch some large fish because fish like to stay in structure. As you can see, this tree line has been bent over. It looks like it's been here for a while, but the water line is way up that hill. So this spot is a key spot for pre-spawn and post-spawn fishing, that those fish will school up in those areas and you should be able to get some big ones out of those spots. So stay tuned. This is the area that we call the rose bed, and oh, I had a bite. I was trying to film it, had a bite and missed it. This is the area that we call the rose bed, and in the early pre-spawn in the spring, man, this is the area that we fish, man. I just want to give you so you can kind of see what it looks like when the water's down.
All right, guys, for those of you that don't remember, this is how I throw my wacky rigs. And I always tell you, if you don't agree with the way that I set my rig up, don't use it. Use your own way. But I'm a firm believer that whatever way that you use to get fish in the boat, continue to do it. But you definitely need to learn different techniques so that when you're fishing, if your technique isn't working, sometimes you got to try something else to get a fish in the boat. Now here we are. The water's a little stained today, so I'm going to use a black zoom trick worm. We're going to Texas rig it at the top, take it all the way, we're going to take this, put it down in the middle here. You're going to do it the same way that you normally do your Texas rig. Take it through, let it push all the way back down to the bottom. And you're going to spin that worm around, then you're just going to thread it weedless. And one of the reasons I'm threading it weedless today, I'm going to be throwing it in this rip rock bank over here. I'm just going to let it hang like this. I'm throwing this on a 7-foot Ike series rod, and I'm throwing it on 8-pound braid. And one of the reasons I throw it in braid, because I'm going to be throwing it in those areas, some tough lay down areas. So what I want to do is I want to be able to make contact with that bait real quick and get it out of there. On the back side of the boat, my brother-in-law, he's throwing a moving bait. So we just kind of, anytime you're working on the boat with an angler, when you got 2 people on the boat, you never want to throw the same thing. One of the person at the front of the boat may throw a spot bait, and the man on the back side of the boat will use a search bait to kind of find fish. And whoever finds it, then we make arrangements according to that.
Get in the boat!
Hey y'all, it's soaking wet out there, man. Hey, we had a decent day. It was very hard on the water, man. I'm talking about very hard on the water today, man. The bite was horrible, man. We got like 2 bites the whole day, man, and they were on structure, but it started raining so bad that we couldn't even, you know what I mean, check in the other areas. But man, it was just a blessing to be able to be out on the water, man. We had an excellent time, me and brother-in-law.